Tomlin's never had a losing season as Pittsburgh's head coach, but he does have a losing record against Denver. Today, the Steelers host the Broncos as we kick off Week 5 on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steelers now on offense, led out by a man who's been at the control since 2004. Six-time Pro Bowler, Ben Roethlisberger.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there? Yeah. 2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. But look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 23 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people up and down the field.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Daquan Jones coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now it's Roethlisberger. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. The 4 touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. And able to get this one across across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Bridgewater on first down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Unfortunately, in 2020, in the season opener, Cortland Sutton tore his ACL. But remember, over 1,100 yards in 2019, his future is still awfully bright.
Y en Colombia son otras leyes. Están más
Back-to-back
corruptos.
good plays have him on the move on first down. Bridgewater to throw it. On the slant, completes to Sutton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Brought me to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Sí, imagínate, pobrecita. Y no, que no tenía fuerza.
This is Gordon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Melvin Gordon, his 11th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago.
Sí, pues no vas tan mal, yo pensaba que iba más mal, pero no. Vas 5 perdidos y 6 ganados.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Roethlisberger will throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Vaughn Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc.
And Bronco fans have to be so excited because Von Miller missed 2020 with an ankle injury, suffered just days before the season opener. An 8-time Pro Bowler, the all-time sack leader for the Broncos, and the active leader in the NFL. They are happy to welcome him back.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. Draymond Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they turned the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. The defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
The punt team on now. It's from their end zone. They get it away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, they get downfield great games for blocks.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Bridgewater now for Gordon on the draw. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. That hasn't been the case so far in this game, so maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground there going forward. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. There's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. To throw here, Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now Roethlisberger on first down. He finds his man Johnson. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And Deontay Johnson has seen his share of targets increase in his first 2 years in the league, and last year finished with 88 catches. Continuing to work on grabbing everything that comes his way. A nice catch there.
And that will wind up just short. He had it online and ran out of gas at the end. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. KJ Hamler returning it. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
On second down, Gordon once more. It's a first down and more for Gordon. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. It's 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Bridgewater. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. Third down coming up. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go long and hope someone would come free.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong. I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. No CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes our score 17-0. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Esta semana
Back now in Pittsburgh, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score of the final play of the third quarter.
sería casi lo mismo.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. Ray McLeod return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is in.
Casi en español, sí hay, ¿no?
They've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Para ver si me sacaron.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he will have the Steelers first down as they're able to get the field goal conversion.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris.
You can't stop me.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To try again after the sack, Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Double team and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll try and grind some clock with Gordon. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but from both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And all the way home for the Broncos score. Melvin Gordon with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Broncos are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. So Melvin Gordon, he has been a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. No more for getting the tough yards, but he breaks off a big one there.
And they've had little to no success stopping him on the ground all game long because that's his 3rd touchdown of the game, and by far the best touchdown of the bunch. They came in this game knowing that they needed to rely on him, and the defense knew they needed to slow him down, yet he's delivered in a big way, and he's been sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. McLeod now on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
See how they handle the waning moments of this one. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. Short little throw to Ebron. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic.
Ay, espérame, mamá, ya estoy haciendo otras cosas.
Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now, to put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Second and 11 now. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So the absolute pitch is shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you gotta like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Broncos, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will get another road test next week as they head to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.
Vale. Están golpeando ya.
It's week 6, and it's time for some AFC West football. Las Vegas is looking for their 8th win in the last 12 against Denver. Can the Broncos buck the trend? We'll find out next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Power Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Off we go from Denver. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Raiders getting ready to go to work for the first time, and they're led by their quarterback in his 8th season now in silver and black, Derek Carr.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week.
Mercatorio.
He was getting done. He did have the one interception.
That's the ratio you say you're okay with.
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have a perfect game.
A run on first down with Jacobs as he'll get this forward.
A ver, Alexa, quítate de aquí.
6 coming up. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 20 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last last week, a huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
El Maden era entrenador de Raiders, ¿verdad? Sí.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep to return is K.J. Hamler. It was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 35. A terrific return. 30 yards on the line. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. For the Denver offense, ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
A Pro Bowl quarterback early in his career in Minnesota before a horrific knee injury slowed down his progress. He's a more than capable quarterback. Most of his opportunities when he's a starter in the NFL.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot. C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. This running game's so important for them, and they know that, and helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that
Espera así pasar de
each
aquí.
and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater going for it all. Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that ball to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still...
Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down and score points.
You know what that tells you? They saw the game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done. McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. Here's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
It's the All-Pro Von Miller who came in to belt him behind the line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to 3rd and 15.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Carr to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Here's A.J. Coldell as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Returning it, here's Hamler. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Melvin Gordon leading Denver's offense back out. And we check the rushing numbers so far here in Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season towards the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And he's got his tight end fed. Touchdown Broncos. Noah Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Now McManus for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw, it's Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
McManus to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off.
Into a sea of defenders that intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. That's pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. If things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio that should ever be in any discussion.
He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Bradley Chubb, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the visiting Chiefs who come in and get the victory on the road. Patrick Mahomes, strong in the victory, as his guys run their record to 6-1 on the campaign. Next, we head north to Philly to check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, excellent in the victory, as his guys run their mark to 4-2 on the year. On now to a check on the next-gen stats in the first half for the Raiders. And this tells the story right here. As a unit, negative yards passing through 2 quarters of play. That is something you almost never see. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. But he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. So here's the Broncos to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat of this ball game as well.
Ven, Reina, párate. Párate. Reina. Aquí te veías bien bonito.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so to 34-0. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, come on, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. Taking a peek at his feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just
ya, deja de estar dando lata en la...
feet are hopefully getting down in bounds. That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. McManus's point after is good, and that makes this 35-0 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Ganó León. Eliminado.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Pues mañana, a ver. Porque todos decían que Tigres ya iba a pasar.
The Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Or maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now, Carr again. And that is incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They run it here with Gordon. Powers through. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And brought down, they're able to get it to the 30-yard line.
Ahí al lado de la...
Carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their wills on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Throwing here, Bridgewater. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well. And that would appear to be a face mask. Give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Bridgewater now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
It feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage to try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now. Because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now McManus for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon.
Yes, it's good.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Ay, pues estos cabrones, ¿cómo lo hacen para meterte de esto?
On first down, Carr. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And the Broncos get there and take him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting it back on the side.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped the defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Denver, they were as hot as anyone. 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try again.
Estás viendo la tele.
Ya te callé. Saca eso. Para ponerte el vapor.
No, ¿qué te pasa?
Ándale.
No, ¿qué te pasa? Ya me vas a matar.
Me vas a matar. Pues porque quieres. Te sales. No entiendes.
Sí, mamá, sí. Sí, me salgo.
¿Me obedeces?
Sí, mamá. Sí, ya cállate, vete a ver la tele.
Cállate tú.
Sabe que me pongo así por los pinche polvo.
Up next, the Broncos and Browns are set to do battle in a series that's been dominated by Denver. They'll look to make it 13 wins in their last 14 against Cleveland. It's week 7, and the action is just moments away.
Es el sucio. Ya. A tirar,
First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion for victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they've got all W's on the ledger so far. A perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
¿La compañera de la noche? No. ¿Saqué yo la mitad?
Ah, sí. La que estaba arriba en tu cámara. Sí.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First time, here comes the Cleveland Browns offense. Quarterbacked by Baker Mayfield, fourth-year man from Oklahoma.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A run for Nick Chubb. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 22 carries, 106 yardage-wise, and the score as well.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Second down at 5. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback in his first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Play fake. Bridgewater. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jr., 83 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And we knew that this offense was going to put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story. That's a full 67 yards in the air. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line. This defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Mayfield on play action. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Bradley Chubb continues to round him to form. Remember, he had knee surgery in 2019 and followed that up with 8 sacks in 2020, continuing to ascend in the NFL.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Bridgewater. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it. And it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Gordon. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. I'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stops behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Melvin Gordon as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half as they take over with just 17 seconds left before the break. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. As far as the early games go in that 1 o'clock window, we'll be focused on that game in Nashville. A big one for the Titans, as they'll have to do battle with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. In the late afternoon games, all eyes will be on Las Vegas. A glitzy matchup there, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one in the NFC. Saints and Seahawks live from Lumen Field in Seattle. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Broncos in that first half. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-sized advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland, and to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Hamler now to return it. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
He's running relentless slot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So a first and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Now Gordon shreds the tackle, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower up front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Bridgewater. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now Gordon on first down. Powerful running. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that had you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now 21-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Ay,
And on the
compa.
stop there, Alexander Johnson, the Broncos' leading tackler last year. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 2nd and 7, Mayfield dumps this to his running back, Chubb. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They blanketed the field.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Simmons. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Denver's offense now set to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. On 1st down, Gordon. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Dewan Smoot with a tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just scared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And McManus able to put it through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive. Okay. About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this is playing out in this one. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Mayfield. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Simmons. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. This defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. Bridgewater here to throw. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
They go play action. Bridgewater. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And again, it's Bridgewater. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. To throw is Bridgewater. He's got a man in Sutton that's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
McManus now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. This is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Broncos, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Este me va a doler. La madre, esta está bien lenta. Ok. La máquina. Ahorita ahí voy. Ya nomás termino este ya. Oh no, ya no juego este. ¿Ya quieres ver a tu Chucky? Nada. Oh.
Coming up.
Coming up, the Washington football team visits Denver. They'll square off for just the 15th time in a rematch of Super Bowl 22. It's Week 8 and is headed your way next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Washington football team. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, you look at our home side in this one. They know coming in, they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late. So maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
And off we go from Denver. Hamler now to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. In his first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
I've always loved Teddy Bridgewater. A lot of people have underrated him throughout his career. Remember, this is a guy who's battled back from a horrendous knee injury to find his way back as a starter in this league. More than capable right arm. Tremendous leader. This guy knows how to make plays in the clutch.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And incomplete to open things up. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere, the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Here's Bridgewater. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Washington offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And I think right now, we know what we're going to get with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Veteran savvy, a ton of know-how, and the enthusiasm for playing and teaching the game, almost second to none. But he also has a bit of a tendency to be a loose cannon with the football. Oftentimes that works out. Sometimes it costs his team, but never a dull moment when he's on the field.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. At Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
On first down, right back to Gibson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 19. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season. So not only do you not get the first down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right, because you know the kicker's over there saying, thanks a lot, you just made my job a little tougher, because when he kicks it now, he'll kick it lower, because he's got to get more distance. That means there's more jeopardy for the ball to get tipped or blocked.
We're scoreless after 1. The Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And the first play will be a field goal try. This one from 48 yards away. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos ready to go on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. It's a 1st down and more for Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon, 20. And all the way home for the Broncos score. Melvin Gordon, his 17th touchdown now in the season. And the Broncos have taken the lead. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daquan Jones picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
The guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon, and he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Going for the deep ball. He's got him in, complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Tim Patrick, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now McManus for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort that results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Fitzpatrick and the rest of the Washington offense back out onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground. Can't say much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this offense this Week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this now a 17-game regular season. And because of that, it seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not very much of an advantage. You might be playing well, not slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away
Sí,
for the
la
second
reza que nos
time.
debe de mantener.
Hamler now on the return.
Que ya estamos viejitos y que no podemos ya hacer más cosas.
So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll start our tour out in the city of Angels, Los Angeles, and the Patriots have the lead in the final stages before halftime. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we'll head to Cleveland and check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Baker Mayfield, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Kiki Cutie, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did. And that should set them up well for the second half to come. These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And it's player spotlight time, and we shine that spotlight on Ryan Fitzpatrick. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on, but part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film, all that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys in positions that show that the speed's going to be quicker, but until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
Not as easy to implement on game day. To throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back. It lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone. And he got there in a hurry.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point.
Ay, sí.
El americano.
Si tú eres
And
de
it's 21-3.
Patriotas.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, complete. That's Sims. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Fitzpatrick's throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A handoff for Gibson. Oh, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. He gets it to Sims, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we play 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Washington on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They can use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Fitzpatrick. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. And I guess, partner, you call that a coverage sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. He's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. It would have been a 1st down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll try and grind some clock with Gordon. It's a 1st down and more for Gordon. And some room to work. 104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I can be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Maden, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Broncos add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, he was already over 100 yards running the football prior to this play, but this run, maybe his best yet.
I've got to agree with you on that, but we're looking at a guy running with extreme confidence and in harmony and sync with his blockers.
No, mamá, no me han dado a firmar
Moving his
nada.
one.
No.
Look at the end result.
Pero
Big
siempre
plays.
tienen que dar por protección. Porque dueles mucho a gas. Y eso se hace
McManus now for the extra point.
No sé.
Ya te pusiste tú ya
And they open the
tomaste
lead up now to 25 points. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it.
No le vas a salir así, no te párate, sales porque tú te quieres.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. So look at Washington as they come onto the field. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the rookie corner, Pat Surtain. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 136 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
I know that every now and then we get those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Throwing here, Bridgewater. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. He's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Fitzpatrick. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Denver, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll take...
¿Ves que busquen? ¿De cuáles quieres?
¿Qué, ma?
La pijama es de ese. Sí,
Yo
ya
tengo
quítate
pantalón.
esa.
Bueno, está limpio.
Ponte esa, para que no te haga el pecho. Roncas muy feo y este también. Allí te dejo esta. ¿O quieres algo de este? Pues póntela. Ya, deja la tele. Voy a sacar carne molida para mañana hacerla temprano, para almorzar. Y unos, ¿qué dijo tu hermana? ¿Qué va a hacer? ¿Qué es? Ya, perico, duérmanse.
Mamá, deja de estar hablando.
Ya, pues duérmanse.
Gordo, tienes activado el micrófono.
Sí, y a mí ya me tiene.
Ay, mamá, ya cállate. Tienes activado el micrófono en la esa, se va a oír todo. Se está oyendo todo.
¿Son estos?
Ahí dice en la configuración, ahí se ve luego el micrófono.
¿Audio del escritorio?
Ahí dice.
Ah, acá está. Aplicaciones que usan tu micrófono.
Sí, ahí viene, ahí abajito donde le estás moviendo y desactiva el micrófono nada más.
Salió esto.
It's a rematch of Super Bowl 12. Denver has won 6 straight over Dallas. Can the Cowboys finally tame the Broncos? We'll find out next on EA Sports.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Denver Broncos. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Hamler now to return it. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Bridgewater on first down. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep for his running back, Gordon. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, Bridgewater. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as these guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here comes this Dallas offense led by Dak Prescott in his 6th season now as the Cowboy quarterback.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 20 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Prescott. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
The pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. Dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. After 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Here's Prescott. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Prescott. And he'll go underneath here to Elliott. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. The veteran in his first year with the Cowboys, Brian Anger, on to punt. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he's brought down after a very nice game. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Bridgewater now from the 50. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Bridgewater. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd and 10, Bridgewater. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is Tony Pollard. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Prescott now. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Prescott off play action. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And those two are tied up as they play the 2nd quarter. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. The Ravens seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Falcons. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Broncos. And despite the big lead, they really did next to nothing throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage. We'll see how aggressive they want to be going forward. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Now Pollard, and he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Buying time to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott, and he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Prescott. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
He'll get this to Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And the defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also a safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
Dallas, Texas is the spot, 3rd quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Out of his end zone, Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Judy, 99 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays, the long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now Pollard. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Prescott. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A first down throw for Prescott. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing. Prescott. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Let's go.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Let's get this all day.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. There he goes inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Melvin Gordon, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Broncos add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. That deserves a couple exclamation points. Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now Pollard. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. To throw is Prescott. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. After the sack on 1st down, Prescott. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Running right, it's a handoff to Gordon. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And some room to roam now. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one. So for the Broncos, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to
to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.